experience with Dermaben here. Karibuni sana. I welcome you to walk with me as I share about parenting a special child with a smile, effective tips on caregiving journey, and many more life experiences that I believe will encourage you. Karibuni sana. My son stopped breathing, but God. So I looked at the doctor and I saw hope written all over her face. She asked me to go with her into the emergency room, and true to what I had seen on her face, my baby was breathing again. Praise be to God. My husband was right there and he had a happy face. God had done it for us. So we are here. We've been referred to a main hospital because they say what they had done was just first aid, and we needed to be admitted in the main hospital. And so we were taken to an ambulance, and as we were waiting there, our son was put on oxygen in the ambulance. And this time they are making calls to make arrangement and confirm on ICU bookings. And we didn't get ICU booking, but we got HDU into a main hospital. And so when they were still making calls and confirming on the bookings, I remember I was in there with the baby in the ambulance. That was my first time that I stepped into an ambulance. I had never been to one before. And my husband was to follow us. But just before they could conclude on the bookings, I remember I was in there. And I'm looking at the baby, he's on oxygen. But I look at him and I realize, not again, he's not breathing. I looked at the medic in the ambulance and I tell him, the baby is not okay. The baby is not breathing. He looks at me and he tells me, Madam, don't worry, the baby is okay, he's already on oxygen. And this is something that I'll talk as we continue with this walk, not today, on how to trust your intuitions, how to trust your instinct as a parent, as a special child's parent. I think to just clear his conscience and to let me know the baby is okay, he goes there, touched the baby. And let me tell you, he did not tell me even a word. I saw him grab the baby, stepped out and went running and telling the colleague the baby is not breathing. They went back to the clinic. I thank God that we were still in the vicinity. We had not left. So my husband told me not to follow them, to remain in the car, now in our car, not in the ambulance, and to wait for them there. I think he read my face. I was discouraged. I was frustrated. And at the same time, fear was all over me. He followed the guys and they went. Now at this time, negative thoughts started playing in my mind. And I was thinking, can such a small baby, a month old and 2 weeks, go through this process twice? And I was not even able to pray. At this time, I'm not even praying. I'm just there. I'm frustrated. I'm discouraged. And all I'm thinking is, I don't see the possibility of them coming back with the baby. It was such a long wait. I saw my husband coming downstairs without the baby. And the voice inside me got louder and louder. I told you, it is not possible. But I want to encourage you, never limit God. If He has ever done for you something once, He's able to do it again and again and again. Our God is not limited. As human beings we are, but He is not. My husband came with good news. He told me, let's go up and see the baby. Our baby is okay. Let's go and get him. We go to the main hospital. I followed him up. I confirmed the baby was okay. And I remain grateful to the doctor in that clinic and her team. God richly bless you wherever you are. And so we went. When we were on the road, this became my prayer, that God, may you clear the way for us. Let there be no traffic. You know the way Nairobi is with traffic. I kept on interceding, Lord, clear for us the way. Until we got there, and I was so relieved. And since that time, whenever I hear an ambulance, I always pray that God may preserve the life of that patient. From that time, it became a prayer. Because when I was there, I was just praying, God, preserve our son and clear for us the way. So fast forward, we are there. The team handed us over to the doctors, and we were received. They left, and we were there. The doctor that we found started taking history. And all this time as he's taking history, I'm thinking, hey, this is an emergency case. And according to the way you are taking history, you're not treating it as one. But I said, anyway, I don't want to judge his work. But I was not able to hold it anymore. And I told him, my baby had 2 episodes today. And I'm afraid I wouldn't want to see him going through the same. And he told me it is important to get all the details before they admit him. Before the words could dry up from my mouth, we went off again. This time around, I'm alone because my husband had not yet arrived. And this doctor was shocked. He starts the process of resuscitation. He is now trying to resuscitate the baby. I'm there. I'm witnessing all this. And after some few seconds, I can tell he was now almost giving up. And that was breaking my heart. It was really breaking my heart. I stood there and I could do nothing about it. Just watching. And I thank God for his planning. Because I believe it was not by coincidence that another doctor was passing by. And I see this doctor calling him, and this doctor came without even questioning. Looking at the situation, he just wore his gloves and he started and he joined in the process of resuscitation. That is one picture that I pray that one day it will be erased from my mind. Because it's something that you wouldn't want to see happening. They tried. Got to a point that I had to step out even without being told by anyone. I could not hold it anymore. Just seeing the pressure that was being put on that baby. I thank God that when I was just there at the door, I heard them say, yes, we did it. And I got in. And yes, the baby was breathing again. They did not continue taking history from there. They took the baby and the process of admission started, and we were admitted in the HDU. Bye-bye. God bless you. Nawapenda sana.